students, this is Suprakash and here I am with Flamingos second lesson Lost Spring. Lost Spring is written by Anish Jung. It is about poverty, how children suffer from their poverty. The lesson is an excerpt from a book Lost Spring, The Stolen Childhood. Here, spring represents childhood. Everyone in his life wants to enjoy childhood, which they never enjoy. Such children who are poverty stricken, they never enjoy their childhood, and in spite of being poor, they happy in their life. They always suffer and they think that this is their destiny whom they have to survive. Now we will talk about the lesson, and here two stories are there. The first story is, sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage, and the next one is, I want to drive a car. First of all, we will talk about the first story. Sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. This is the story of a slum boy, a rag picker who came India in search of food and shelter from Bangladesh. The narrator meets a group of children of rag pickers whom she asked about their schooling. Of course, rag pickers never go to school, and she promises, actually it was a hollow promise which she made them, that she will build a school for them. But after a few months she realized that it was a hollow promise and it was certain. She was very much ashamed on his promise, but she asked to join something. Next event of the story is shoe event, that she asked about their shoes because most of them were barefoot. She asked them why they did not wear their shoes. The answer was that their shoes were kept in a almirah and their mother would never give them and take them off from their shelves. One of them responded very brightly and you can say cunningly that this is their custom to be barefooted. But the boy had a pair of shoes which was mismatched, and after that event, what happens, months passed and the narrator wanted to ask the name. The name was Sahbe Alam. It means the Lord of Universe. Actually, the boy who was a rag picker never knew the meaning of the name. It is an irony here that his name was Sahbe Alam and he was a rag picker. Both are very much different from their meaning. The one is east and the another one is west. So this is irony represented here. And then after, there is an event when she went to meet, the narrator went to meet their family members, their natives. They lived in the outskirts of the Delhi Simapuri. It is away from the city lifestyle, and you can say the lifestyle is a very different from the Delhi. Delhi people always spend their life in luxurious way. But what about Simapuri colonials? They never get any kind of facilities. When elections come, what happens? They vote and they are given promises, but those promises are never kept because they have their ration cards, their voter ID, but not any kind of identity accepted. They get only rations and food for their life. During the flood and during 1971, they came to India and settled here. Their fields were lush green in Dhaka in Bangladesh, but due to flood and various storms, they had to leave that place, and it was very difficult to find 2 times of bread there. So they came here in the search of gold, means in the search of livelihood. They thought that the life would be a little bit better from Bangladesh, and here they get 2 times bread. Almost 10,000 families live there, and even today they live in Simapuri, and this is called the slum that is situated in the outskirts of the Delhi. One day, Sahib Alam was found outside the tennis court. He was wearing a pair of shoes which had a hole in one of the shoes. The narrator asked that how he get. So he replies that someone had given it to him, but actually these shoes were discarded. Any rich family boy would have surely discarded them, and he would have found them. So after that, leaving the rag picking, Sahib Alam joined a tea stall. He was found once with a canister for taking milk in that. So he told the narrator that he was getting then 800 rupees a month and 2 times meal. Now the Sahib, which means the Lord, now is no more his own master, because he is now working in a tea shop. The owner of the tea shop is his Lord, and the canister which he is carrying on his head is felt weighted than the bag which he carried for rag picking. So the story ends telling us a moral that the situation of these people, these children, would never be uplifted, because in many other stories and poems it is mentioned, which you will read in your poem, and the situation can be handled, but the leader who get votes from them never heed on them, and that is the irony for them, that they are promised hollow promises. Thank you. The next part will be given in the next video.